Hello, ladies and germs. It's me, Gaming Do, and welcome back to the first time since 2018 that we are returning to a month-related video. This month, for the month of May 2021, we will be celebrating the 22nd anniversary of Spongebob, even though that already passed as today is May 5th, but I would still say we're going to celebrate this all month, if the month of May, just like we did with Loud House in January. As today is SpongeBob month 2021, number one, which will be the top 10 best pre-movie episodes. Clearly, I think everybody who has watched this show knows that the pre-movie episodes are pretty much universally considered the best episodes of the show. I'm gonna say I'm actually going to almost put a majority of season 4 into there, because I actually like most season 4 episodes, with some of my notable favorites being Once Bitten, Have You Seen This Snail, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6. I really liked Rule of Dumb, and I think my favorite episode of season 4, though, is Skill Crane. That was just an awesome episode. But today, we're actually talking about the pre-movie episodes, as we will talk about the seasons 4 and 5 episodes sometime later on. As I don't know what number 2 for this month is going to be, but I know what number 1 is. Top 10 best pre-movie episodes. And let's get on with that right now. Coming in as my number 10, we have Scaredy Pants. This is basically the first SpongeBob holiday special, and I think it's the second best one. I know everyone kind of praises the holiday specials from the later seasons, such as It's a SpongeBob Christmas and Legends of Bikini Bottom. Honestly, I think both of the pre-movie holiday specials are better than the post-movie ones, or the claymation ones. I like them. They're just not as good as Scaredy Pants or Christmas Who. So, what do I absolutely adore about this episode? The setting. The way they draw the setting of Bikini Bottom to basically be all Halloween related is freaking... It's freaking awesome to see. Plus, there's lots of funny gags. Specifically, the funniest gag in the episode for me is when Patrick is following SpongeBob as he goes, "Ooh, I'm the Flying Dutchman. Ooh, I don't know who I am." That's one of my favorite lines from that episode. I also like the whole party scene at the Krusty Krab, and when Mr. Krabs chokes while bobbing apples. That's awesome. And you can't forget the scene where SpongeBob's brain basically shows. It's so scary that it even scares the Flying Dutchman. So, yeah, Scaredy Pants is easily one of my top 10 favorite SpongeBob pre-movie episodes. There might be a few episodes after pre-movie that are better than this one, but not too many. This is a truly awesome episode, in my opinion. Coming in at my number 9, we have Graveyard Shift. Another kind of scary, horror-related episode. The hash-slinging slasher. The trash ringing. I can't quote that immediately right now, because this is one of the episodes I've seen the least recently, but that doesn't mean it's not an awesome episode, because it is a truly awesome episode. What I love the most about this episode is kind of the whole atmosphere, that it takes place late at night, and Squidward and SpongeBob are basically on edge throughout a majority of the episode, especially in the second half. I like the scene, probably the funniest scene in the episode for me is when SpongeBob basically panic runs outside to throw out the trash. That's kind of how I feel sometimes, as I've taken out the trash sometimes at night myself. And I'm sorry for making that noise. Often I got a little bit of a, I wouldn't say it's a cold, but I'm gonna try to do that a little less, but whatever. Graveyard Shift is an awesome episode, especially when the big reveal that the Hashling Slasher is just some innocent kid who wants to join the Krusty Krab team. And then the one who's flickering the lights is Nosferatu. That's freaking awesome. Graveyard Shift is a truly awesome episode, and it's, well, my number 9 spot. Coming in at my number 8, we have... I can see pitchforks and torches outside of my house already. Guys, please leave. This is my opinion. Yeah, coming in as my number 8 is the Holy Grail of SpongeBob. I know everyone says this is the best episode of the show, and I think it's one of the best, but not quite my favorite. Band Geeks. I mean, what's there not to love about this episode? Everything from the first phone call with Squilliam to the invitations to go to the band to Squidward calling the different sections, and then once he gets to the drum sections, they basically, most of the other instruments are instruments he blow into, and they think it is, but it turns out they just put Squidward right on the wall. It's really funny. I love, my favorite joke though is by far how small Plankton is, and the fact that he basically is using a harmonica, which is small in it by itself, but Plankton is like 10 times smaller than it. So he like has to run across the harmonica to freaking blow on different keys, and that's just awesome. And you can't forget about the freaking, probably the best ending in all of SpongeBob. It's up there with the first movie in the Sweet Victory ending. That song is awesome, and thank you for teasing us, Maroon 5, with the Super Bowl 53. That was very disappointing. And I don't mind Maroon 5. I actually like some of their songs, but we were kind of expecting to see that, and we got an appearance, but it's comparable to the joke in this show where Patchy basically has a tantrum over the cheap walk cycle. SpongeBob betrayed us! But, yeah. My number 8 is Band Geeks. And I know... Gosh, they're still at my house. Go away, angry mob! Alright, number 7 is going to be New Student Starfish. See ya, SpongeBob! See ya, Big Fat Meanie! I love the joke. It even makes me laugh just thinking about it. The freaking drawing Patrick draws of Mrs. Puff, puts a little poo-poo right below her, and it's a stupid drawing with her basically with her tongue out, and he calls her Big Fat Meanie. And then, all sorts of antics happen from here. And these are the stairs of learning, huh? No, Patrick. These are the stairs of learning. There's just so many memorable moments in this episode. Obviously, the most memorable one is the... Patrick, I thought of something funnier than 24. Let me hear it. 25. That's just... Everyone knows that joke. I love the scenes with Roger where they basically try to freaking save his life, and Patrick basically walks up the freaking scene where, I don't know, what do you call it? The freaking person who, like, yodels? I don't know what you'd call that type of. I don't know what you'd call that, but that scene made me laugh where he was climbing up the light bulb mountain. Maybe it's a mountaineer, I don't know. But, New Student Starfish is just a classic SpongeBob episode, and it's my number 7 spot. Coming in at number 6, we have Fun. What a truly fun episode. I like the fact, mainly with this episode, that it's kind of a little bit different in which SpongeBob and Plankton kind of bond in this episode. It's might be the least funniest out of every. What am I trying to say? It may be the least funniest on this list, but it's just an overall really good episode. My favorite scene, though, and this is a truly funny scene, is when Bubble Bass sits on Plankton and basically, I won't go any further than that because it's going to sound really weird, but that scene is kind of gross but kind of funny at the same time. And then Mr. Krabs is suspecting that basically Plankton is still up to no good, and he was correct. And, it is kind of sad to see that it was a false friendship overall, but the best part of this episode that's not really funny is by far the fun song. I would sing it, but, that would make your ears bleed, guys. So, I'm not gonna make you go deaf by my singing, so, yeah, my number 6 is going to be Fun. Now we get into my top 5. These episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants are truly some of the best episodes out of any Nickelodeon show ever. I love all 5 of these episodes, starting with my number 5, Jellyfish Hunter. Alright, so what do I love most about Jellyfish Hunter? That would be the horror atmosphere kind of towards the middle-ish end of the episode where SpongeBob is it's the whole scene where No Name is trying to basically trap SpongeBob, and it has funny scenes such as when SpongeBob basically thinks somebody's trying to sell him something, and it turns out they are, and they're hiding behind a rock. I like the little trap, how there's a blue jelly Krabby Patty that SpongeBob is lured into, and then he gets trapped by No Name. And then, sure, Mr. Krabs is a jerk in this episode, but it's kind of a little bit of fun, and I love how he gets his comeuppance in the end. This is probably the episode I probably have the least to say about, but still, it's still in my top 5 because it's just got so many awesome scenes, including the Hey All You People song is in this episode. Jellyfish Hunter is my 5th favorite SpongeBob episode of all time. This is better than any pre-movie, or what the hell? This is better than any post-movie episode. Our number 4 spot is going to No Weenies Allowed. I am not a weenie. And, SpongeBob, no offense, you kind of are a weenie. Considering that at the end you do get into the salty spittoon, but you just fall in an ice cube. And then you claim you have boo-boo, so you need to go to Weenie Hut General. Oh, the Weenie Hut scenes are probably the best part of this episode, but everything is freaking hilarious about this episode. The potato salad gag, all the ways SpongeBob tries to get in, whether it's disguised as a tattoo on some guy, or a fist fight, he gets in the middle of a fist fight, or the best part, when he actually does get in by basically psychologically beating up Patrick, or he basically flips him in the air, and the air basically beats the living shit out of him. It's weird, the weirdest thing I've probably ever seen on the show. Well, no, hell no. I've seen much weirder, but this is very weird, but it's very entertaining to watch. And this episode is just a classic. I love No Weenies Allowed. It's one of the best episodes of the series. Alright, we are on to my top 3. And my number 3 spot is an episode I talk about very, 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 very often. I talked about it Christmas time, and you'll know what that means, as this is the second holiday special on my list. Coming in as my number 3, we have Christmas Who. I mean, what is there not to love about this episode? I know there's about half the people in the SpongeBob community probably like It's a SpongeBob Christmas more, while about half of us like Christmas Who more. I'm on the Christmas Who side. This is just a classic episode telling basically about everyone in Bikini Bottom's first Christmas. Squidward's a typical grouch, and he basically tries to ruin Christmas. And SpongeBob tells everyone about Santa Claus. He doesn't come. Everyone's mad at him. And then Squidward feels a little bad after he gets a really nice Christmas present with a wooden clarinet that plays a song by pressing a button. And then he basically becomes Santa Claus and brings Christmas to Bikini Bottom. This is just a classic and honestly a really, really, really nice episode. It's a really nice episode. Also, the Patchy and Potty segments are really, 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 really good in this episode. Best of the series, honestly. I love how Potty actually eats all the cookie dough and his body basically falls apart. That's hilarious. And yeah, this is truly one of my favorite episodes of the show, and I love it with all my heart. Coming in as my number 2, we've got the episode Dying for Pie. I don't know what to say about this episode. This is a true classic. Dying for Pie is one of those SpongeBob episodes that's just very, 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 very quotable. It truly is one of the most quotable episodes of the whole series. Whether it's the scene where he basically... The best scene, in my opinion, is when he basically introduces Squidward to people around the Bikini Bottom, and then, yeah, he introduces Squidward in a salmon suit, and it turns out to be worse. But what I like most about this episode is not the humor, it's the fact that it shows that Squidward truly deep down inside cares about SpongeBob. And that's really nice to see, because sometimes it seems like he downright hates the guy, but Dying for Pie pretty much proves that he doesn't, because when it seems like SpongeBob dies, he downright breaks down. So it truly shows that he does care, but then it turns out it was a fake out. And he didn't even eat the pie yet, and the ending is one of the best endings of the show. Whether it's when he screams about Gary not eating dessert, or this might be the most memorable moment in the entire series. It's when SpongeBob basically drops the bomb pie and a big nuclear explosion happens. At least on YouTube Poop, that's like the most quotable thing in the entire series. It truly is. And hold on a second, guys. And without further ado, we are now going to mention the honorable mentions for this list. And coming at number 15, we have Can You Spare a Dime? A really hilarious episode about SpongeBob taking Squidward in after he gets accused by Mr. Krabs of stealing his first dime. And the first dime itself just looks freaking hilarious. It's this big rock-like thing, and it's amazing. He comments how many years he's been in business. It's just an awesome episode. Number 14, pizza delivery. Really, sort of like Dying for Pie, this shows how much Squidward kind of does truly care for SpongeBob. After they deliver the pizza to the guy, they go through a big adventure, and they basically use pioneering advice to get to him, such as riding a big rock, but the guy turns out to be a jerk, being they said he didn't get his drink, makes poor SpongeBob cry, and then Squidward throws the pizza in his face. Good riddance, you jerk. Number 13, Patty hype. I just love all the gags in this episode, all the things the Patties sort of do to the bikini bottom fish, like the color of their tongues. I like look at I got under me kilt. Just I love the different patty colors. I love when Mr. Krabs is crying to that freaking, I don't know what it is. I think it's some microscopic creature breaking up. I'm not sure. But my favorite part of the episode is by far when SpongeBob leaves the Krusty Krab after Squidward and Mr. Krabs make fun of him, and he goes up to Patrick saying, "Hey, Patrick, are you angry too?" "Yeah. What's the matter?" "I can't see my forehead." "What's your problem?" And when I was a kid, I was literally trying to look at my forehead, and I realized Patrick's 100% right. And that's why I like this episode a lot. Number 12 is the camping episode, a classic episode with that classic campfire song. And the advice on how not to track a sea bear, I would apply some of them to a real bear, but maybe not all of them. I don't think it's really going to matter if you wear a sombrero in a goofy fashion. But, yeah, this is a really funny episode, with my favorite gag being the sort of newspapers they show Squidward about the sea bear. And the "who knew this guy" joke, that's also really funny. And the closest to the number 10 spot, all 15 of these episodes are incredible SpongeBob episodes, and would probably all be in my top 20, as really there's only 5 or 6 post-movie episodes I like more than these, and probably not even. I'd say there's like 3 or 4. Those being Spy Buddies, I probably like more than a majority of the pre-movie episodes. Have You Seen the Snail? I probably like more than a majority of the pre-movie episodes. And probably Dunces and Dragons. And that's all I can really think of for now. Yeah, but Just One Bite is just an incredible episode. From all the jokes about Squidward eating so many Krabby Patties that it goes right to his thighs and he blows up, to the jokes where it's Krabby Patties are good for your soul. Oh, please. I have no soul. The deleted scene with the gas security is awesome. It's just all these ways SpongeBob is trying to convince Squidward to eat a Krabby Patty. It's creative and really funny. And I love this episode, but not as much as my number 1. Guys, get ready to see my all-time favorite SpongeBob episode. And you may be wondering what it is. And you may be wondering why a certain episode hasn't been shown yet. Well, if you really love this episode to the point where it's your number 1, which I'd say it is some, get ready, because it's my number 1 too. It is the one, the only, infamous chocolate with nuts. Yes, my favorite episode of SpongeBob SquarePants is chocolate with nuts. Can you name an episode with more quotable quotes? Whether it's the chocolate guy, I got it, let's get naked. All the ways they lie to people about what the chocolate does so they'll buy it. The freaking sneaky con artist basically trying to scam SpongeBob and Patrick, whether it's selling them bags or freaking basically pretending he's very hurt to get sympathy from them. Then there's I love you. Then there's the Patrick staring at this random guy, and he closes his eyes in the door, and his eyes still move around, and he goes, "Nice place you got here." Oh my god, so many good jokes in this episode. And who can forget the best joke in this entire episode, and one of the best scenes in the entire series, period. It is with the two old ladies. SpongeBob basically tries to sell the chocolate bar to her and says, "Is your mother home?" "Ma! What? What are they selling?" "You just can't wait for me to die, can ya?" Every single time I see that old lady appear, it just makes me laugh. It's such a freaking funny joke. And, basically, this is the first time they convince somebody to buy the chocolate with effects, saying it'll increase the really old, looks kind of like a sausage link, or the beef owl, a piece of crap lady. If they rub it on her, she'd live a lot longer. And the lady goes, "Come on, Mary, get the rubbing. I hate you." Chocolate with nuts is what you call classic SpongeBob SquarePants. And yeah, I don't have much more to say about this classic episode other than it is my all-time favorite pre-movie episode and my all-time favorite episode, period. So that's going to be it for the first part of SpongeBob Month 2021. For part 2, I decided we are going to do the top 5 best and top 5 worst episodes from seasons 4 through 8. I hope you look forward to that. That'll probably be out on Friday or Saturday. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Gaming You here. See you later. Bye.